Hi guys, I'm sorry if there's a little background noise, but it can't be helped. Um, Today I was thinking about a book that I read in ninth grade called Life on the Mississippi, and I was just flipping through it because it's a very interesting and humorous book, and I was bored. And this passage really stood out to me, so I'll read it here. It goes, I stood like one bewitched. He's talking about the Mississippi. I drank it in a speechless rapture. The world was new to me, and I had never seen anything like this at home. But as I have said, a day came when I began to cease from noting the glories and the charms which the moon and the sun and the twilight wrought upon the river's face. Another day came when I ceased altogether to note them. Then, if that sunset scene had been repeated, I should have looked upon it without rapture, and should have commented on it inwardly after this fashion. This sun means that we are going to have wind tomorrow. That floating log means that the river is rising. Small thanks to it. That slanting mark on the water refers to a bluff reef, which is going to kill somebody's steamboat one of these nights if we keep stretching on like that. Those tumbling boils show a dissolving bar and a charging channel there. The lines and circles in the slick water over yonder are a warning that some troublesome place is shoaling up dangerously. That silver streak in the shadow of the forest is the break from a new snag, and he has located himself in the very best place he could have to have found to fish for steamboats. That tall, dead tree, with a single living branch, is not going to last long, and then how is a body ever going to get through this blind place at night without this friendly old landmark? No, the beauty and the romance were all gone from the river. All the value any feature of all the value any feature of it had for me now was the amount of usefulness it could furnish towards compassing the safe piloting of a steamboat. Since those days I have pitied doctors for my heart. What does the lovely flush in a beauty's cheek mean to a doctor but a break that ripples above some deadly disease? Are not all her visible charms sown thick in what are to him the signs and symbols of a hidden decay? Does he ever see her beauty at all, or doesn't he simply view her professionally and comment upon her unwholesome condition all to himself? And doesn't he sometimes wonder whether he has gained most or lost most by learning his trade? So obviously what he's talking about there, what Mark Twain is talking about there, is how if you learn enough about something, then its natural beauty starts to fade away and you begin to see it clinically, and you begin to diagnose and try to pick it apart. So I myself have noticed this. I'm really into architecture and urban planning, and when I look at a city or a city grid like Paris's, or if I look at any piece of architecture, I pick it apart. Like this is its piece, this is its pediment, this is the cornice, this is the windows and the lintels, and I pick it apart like that. And it's very hard for me to see it as the whole. Uh, and Furthermore, I also read a lot, obviously. And when I get very saddened in school, because when we read it in school, we're reading it in this way, very clinically, and we're trying to pick it apart and determine what could this be symbolizing, what could this be saying, what figurative language is this part using, and that detracts from the overall beauty of the book. And us kids in high school, we don't appreciate that anymore. We're not appreciating the story of the book, which is why I get so much enjoyment from reading extracurricularly. But when I read a book within school, it's always a slog because it's work. You're analyzing it. You're not effectively reading the book as a whole, and you're tested on it, which is very strange to me. Um, but and this is what sort of saddens me about school. But furthermore, another question I would like to posit to Mark Twain is: wouldn't that doctor that he refers to, who sees the beauty in a person and who the beauty in a person just like shows them some disease that they might be hiding, wouldn't this doctor feel a sort of like oceanic feeling when they see something like this, or wouldn't they be reminded of something greater? Or especially him on the Mississippi, as he's diagnosing all these little things, all these little this river that comes up to him, how the sun meets the water. As he looks at all of these things, wouldn't he get a real oceanic feeling that all of these things are happening and all of these things mean something? They're everywhere, and every part of this river means something and it's been caused by something. And I get the same feeling when I read literature. All of these things happen because of these events in history, and it's all together and it's all cohesive and it all makes sense and it all gels together and it's all just so perfect, and it's very interesting to me. It's very stunning. Um, I don't know, I get an oceanic feeling to me. That's the phrase that Freud uses in the beginning of Civilization and whatever, and and its discontents. I really do. I really get this wide feeling. So, what do you think?